All right, so I know that I finished the last video about getting the tree elf, and we really haven't received anything back from the tree elf yet because obviously he's having to charge powers, I guess. Um, we, at the current time, though, have received letters from the. There was a leprechaun that was working with us, sort of a, I don't know, not a double agent, but a whistleblower type, where he's going to now spill his guts on the people that set him up to cause us problems in the past. It's a long story, and we'll probably get into it over time. But right now, we're dealing with him, and he just gave us a bunch of letters, and so I'm going to give you. I'll read them to you in just a second here. Hey, sweetheart, can you bring me those letters? And I'm just going to show you also something I wanted to show everybody was they're really, usually most of the letters are really, really fine and small written letters. So I wanted to show you guys that because of the situation. Usually, the last video you saw that the letters, the words, I'm looking for a winter home or whatever he had said, were a lot larger than normal. I just kind of thought it was interesting to show everybody how small they can write. But oh, there's the tree now. I actually think I overdid it with the lights, so I will actually probably reduce the lights on the tree. Yeah, those are the ones I want. Thank you, sir. All right. Let me go ahead and see if I can get them in order, if I can remember how they came, because, he threw them. Not really. I don't think he threw these ones down because we found them on the table, one at a time. The last one I remember seeing being thrown at us, or near us, dropped near us. I shouldn't say thrown. I should probably just say dropped. Let's see what this one, if this is the right one. Hard to do with one hand. Nope, that's not the first one. It comes in the middle of a thought. I can tell right there, that's not the first one. It was really simple. The first one was it was just like, oh my gosh, this is really not easy to do. I'm going to need to get a camera stand here. Oh, here's what he says. So it basically said, I want to talk to you a little bit about the situation with the people that hired me. Now, I'm not really going to read a whole lot of this one here, but look at how small that lettering is. I'm not even sure if we can get it on film here. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Guess not. Anyways, it's just too small to focus on the letters. At the end of his letters, you'll see that little green dot on here because it's blurry. On that, that's actually a little 3-leaf clover. No, it's too small. It doesn't matter. Point being is it's really small lettering because obviously they have little small eyes, I guess. It fits their proportion. I'm not sure. Anyways, the second one we got right after that was so he says they have stolen quite a few items from you, from the home you used to live in. Now that was when we lived in Ocala, and we were aware at the time that quite a few items were stolen from us. We had assumed they were stolen by Pluto from us, and then he gives this really long one. So this is the big one with a ton of information on it. So he basically said, before we continue, let me give you a list of the items that I know that they have stolen and sold on the black market. One was an astrolabe. The second one was 4 idols. The third one was several containers that had powers in them. These were the ones they gave to me to start setting up at Salt Springs. So we had always wondered, this is the home we're in, the Salt Springs home now. We had always wondered how he had the ability to, start causing so much mischief for us in this home. And it's obvious now that he was able to use Father God creation powers to do so. And those were obviously stolen and then used by him. And then the last one he said was a couple of enchanting plates. So those were the items that were all stolen at the time that we knew about the astrolabe mainly. The other ones, I was pretty sure I knew a little bit about some idols that were stolen. So I mean, that's not a shock to me that the idols were stolen. One of those fell below. I'll get in a second. So that's just a quick update. The leprechaun seems to be congenial. There doesn't seem to be any issues. I did cast special spells to reveal his true intentions, which took a lot of effort to do. So I'm pretty sure that if this is the revealing of his true intentions, which is highly likely at this point, we're talking 99% sure that this is his revealing of his true intentions, then he's worth trusting and trustworthy. The scenario was that we had trapped him basically in a vault type trap. They're soul traps basically. And we had rendered him unconscious while in there. I mean, it would be kind of lousy to have someone trapped in a little box and then, we're not going to do that to someone. That's not right. So just left him unconscious until we could work with him. The kame, now kame is just a word that refers to sort of a enlightened spiritual being or a spiritual being that's not on the physical plane. Oftentimes they're goddesses and gods that were incarnations, but it could also mean mystic beings. It's more of a Japanese way of connecting with their incarnations. Their incarnations don't go directly to heaven in the way that we see it. The gods, they stay on earth. They live in certain areas. They do have a connection to heaven, but they really inhabit local areas, and it's a little complex to talk about here. But we have a kame living on our property that was actually brought over right after the war. We're not going to go into her right now, but she, I'm not sure actually why I went on this. Give me a second here. Right. Okay. Got to get back on the train of thought here. She actually, through a chain of events, which actually doesn't happen anymore, but there was a time where people were randomly beings from heaven and different gods and goddesses were actually taking over my body. I don't remember it, but my wife and my kids do. So it was odd, and I know that's just odd to hear that way, but we obviously put an end to that. I got spells set up to protect that kind of transitioning. But she came at some point, took over my body, and actually let this leprechaun go. Now, at the time, I wasn't too happy about it because I wanted to be informed of those kind of decisions. But it's one of those things where on the fly, you need to have something done. And sometimes you don't have the time to work in a democratic style. And so at this point, she had to make a decision and made the decision to let him go. But I guess had a conversation with him to allow him to sort of understand that we're here for him, because the likelihood is once he goes back to the people that hired him originally, him being a failure, first off, is not good in their eyes. You get fired when you don't do a good job. And second, he's going back to them empty-handed. And she had warned him of this from what I've been told, as I wasn't there. And the hope was that he would come back. He was offered a place here, and if he couldn't find any place to go. Now, obviously, he was in down and out, and he came back, and in dire straits in a way, I guess, because he came back asking for a place to stay until he got his life in order. So I put him up in the back house. We have an extra stilt house. And then today, that's when he contacted us, because he had told us he was going to go get some things from his hideout in the woods somewhere and bring it back here. Well, today, that's when he got a hold of us and basically just let us know that, what I read you. He's going to whistleblow. And that's what we wanted. I mean, that was everybody's hope. I mean, get some inside information, please, something. So anyways, that catches you up on the leprechaun situation. I'm hoping to have more cameras around as I live my life, because these things happen all day long. And I would like to be able to show you guys all the things that are happening, when they're happening, and the important key events with this, the magical realm. I'm using, it's a VR type camera that I've used in the past, but it really takes a long time to load the videos, to edit them. And I think I'm going to probably switch more to like this style, just using my cell phone. And I'm hoping this is maybe not as good quality, but I think it's just going to load a lot faster, because I can make this video and now I can just instantly upload it onto YouTube.